Joe Cortese on the Fishbowl. Welcome.
Hello, hello, hello.
I am in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Aha, great. I haven't been there in years. I was there once many years ago. Really good people. I really dug the people a lot, and I thought Pittsburgh was pretty hip.
It's a great place. I was born in Maryland. Spent a year of my life there, my first year, and I've lived in Pittsburgh ever since. So
Aha,
I pretty much consider myself a Pittsburgher.
a Pittsburgh, huh? Now the name is called the Fishbowl.
Yeah, it's called the Fishbowl.
Uh-huh. Catchy name.
Well, my last name is Fish.
Aha. Oh, okay. Now I get it. I'm putting it
Yeah,
together.
it's spelled
So how's the weather in Pittsburgh today?
it got a little chilly here.
Well, it's very hot here, and kind of just did a play reading of a new play. I'm kind of excited. I'm going to see the Spielberg movie tonight, the Q&A with him at 7:30, 8 o'clock.
Oh wow, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, I go to a lot of screenings this time of the year because I'm a voting member of the Academy. So, um, I get to see a lot of movies, right before they're released. And this is one I particularly want to see because I think Spielberg is probably, in my opinion, the greatest director of our time. Anybody who could do Schindler's List and E.T. has what I call a range.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Indiana Jones, Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You know, he's fantastic. Saving Private Ryan is like up there in my top three favorite war World War II films.
My, me too. So, what's going on?
Well, I had a few questions to ask you about some of your earlier work, particularly The Death Collector with Joe Pesci.
Right,
What
right.
what was that like? You know, getting to work with Pesci. Basically, you know, both of you are kind of at the beginning of your careers. And what he kind of became most famous for. The genre of film that he's known
Well,
for.
yeah, it's an interesting story. First off, it was really exciting because I went in. I was maybe 26 or 27, and I went into audition on 37th Street on the east side of Manhattan, and I was reading for the director and the producers, and this other little guy was sitting. I didn't know who anybody was, and in the middle of the reading with another actor, the guy kept pointing at my chest, and at one point I dropped the script and I went into improvisation, and I kind of threw the guy against the wall, and can I use profanity on the show?
Yeah.
And the guy was pointing his finger at my chest during the scene, and I was, the lead guy in the movie, and I finally dropped my script, and I grabbed him by his throat, and I threw him against the wall, and I said, "You motherfucker, you ever put your hands on me like that again? I'll rip your heart out and send it to your mother in a fucking package." And I heard, "Excuse me," I'm like, "Why did you do that? Why did you fucking do that? That's not what's written." And I turned and I saw this cloud of smoke with this guy underneath. And I said, "Well, what the fuck would you have done?" He said, "I would have did the same thing, man. But every other motherfucker that's coming in here, they're reading it like they're in a Shakespearean play." So we sort of hit it off right away. And at the time, they were going to hire somebody else. Pesci convinced them to hire me. And then the rest is kind of history. We did the movie, and Walter DeVito was the director. He was really terrific. And the guys who were making the movie at the time, this is before independence, were really independents. This is sort of made like as a drive-in movie,
Right.
you know, just for its violence. But what happened was the reality, because Joe and I sort of knew a little bit about that. He knew more than me about that way of life. And we did a lot of research and we took our time to be able to cast the movie right. And quite frankly, I've done a lot of pictures. That's probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite, because there was a sense of reality that we created that when Scorsese and the rest of the industry saw the picture, they were kind of taken back, and, originally we were both supposed to be in the Raging Bull, and after a while, I met with Bob and Marty, and they said, "Look, well, actually, Bob said it to me. He said, this is we put the brother and the best friend, and we just made it the brother, but nobody knows how to get a hold of this guy Joe Pesci. Do you know how to get a hold of him?" And I said, "Yeah." And I gave him two phone numbers. He said, "What's this?" I said, "The top one's the number of a restaurant in the Bronx called Amici's, and the other one is the number of a candy store down there. Look, he hangs out there on Mondays at dinner." I said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah." Then I called Pesci up, and the rest is, the rest. He got the job, and but it was an exciting time of my life. I went on from there to do a couple of studio pictures that did not fare as well, like Windows with Gordon Willis and Sally Shire. Then I did Monsignor, Chris Reeve, and Frank Perry was the director. They were not successful movies, so it's sort of you know, it was more difficult. It's always better when you're in a movie that's a hit, no matter whether your work is good or not. Your work can be really good, but if you're in a movie that's not a hit, it makes it harder to have the opportunities to move on to other stuff. Anyway, in answer, it was an exciting time, and we worked a lot the same way. We very real sense of reality to the work, and very in the moment, and natural, very natural quality, which a lot of it's sort of precarious art form. They call it acting, but
Right.
what we want you to do is not act.
Right. Right.
So
I
it's,
mean
it's
that.
called acting, and the first thing I teach, I have to a little bit. The first thing I want you to do is not to act. And they go, "What do we do?" I say, "Just be. Just be there in the moment at the time. Do all the work, do all your research, do everything you need to do to prepare to create a character. And tie it up in a nice bundle. Walk over to the window, open the window, and throw it out. And then start the scene, and trust that whatever is going on in the moment with all the preparation that you did will organically come out. And that's when you have the opportunity to create magic, or at least that's what I call it. When you have the opportunity to really be able to do something that could be special.
Right. And that's so true. Because well, my major is screenwriting. I'm actually in my senior year. Um,
Right,
and I have a friend that just graduated last May for acting, and he is Greek Italian, and
right,
he's his favorite genre is the mafia
right,
films, and him going into acting, he's also plays guitar and is a musician, actually a mean guitar, but he just recently did his second play outside of any association with school, and the first play he did was the Mousetrap, and he wasn't
right.
like a huge character, but I to me, not just because he was my friend, but to me he was the most memorable because that play is supposed to be taking place in England, and everybody in the play had like the traditional English accent, but because he's also in that mindset of being a guitarist and a musician, his biggest inspirations as far as his style and idols with music is Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. So what he
Right.
did was basically, watch a lot of interviews with both of them, and instead of doing the traditional English accent, he went with, I'm not sure what the dialect, but it's like the dirty, rough.
Cockney,
Yes,
more
yes.
Cockney, more Manchesterish.
Yes, yes,
Right,
exactly. And he went with that, and to me, that made him the most memorable because he was doing something that not everybody else was,
right.
and from what I heard, that actually landed him the second play he did. Um, which I saw a few weeks ago, and he was, again, not a huge character, but they actually called him in. I think everybody else had about 3 months to prepare, and he had like 3 weeks because they had to get rid of someone and get him on quick, and he did it, and he was great, so it's like it's exactly what you say, it's bringing something that's yourself, to the role
Yeah, you
that.
always have to bring yourself. Anybody that thinks you become the character is, delusional, needs mental help. I believe that the character becomes you. And again, it's very dangerous to say that unless you really explain it. And the fact is, I mean, I don't really become another person, right? Yeah. The art of acting, in my opinion, again, is to create the essence of whoever that character is. And it's like an artist, it's like a painter. My stroke is my stroke.
Right.
When you see a Cortese performance or whatever, you see a De Niro performance or you see a Pacino performance, or you see, you name it, there's always a signature kind of, you know, a signature kind of, uh, how should I say, it's a signature kind of look to it. You know what I mean? When you see a Picasso, you know it's a Picasso.
Yeah.
When you see,
Yeah.
when you see any of the, you see a Pissarro, you know it's Pissarro. If you see, you know, Andy Warhol, whoever the painter is, you look at the work, you go, I know the artist. And one of the things that I try to always bring to it is my performance. There's always a little wrinkle of humor, no matter what it is. There's always a kind of a wrinkle
Right.
that just again and again it kind of happens organically, but you talk about screenwriting. I'm also a screenwriter, and I've got a very big picture that hopefully is about to be made that I can't talk too much about because I don't want to tell you who the director might be, but it's a very big, again, gangster picture called Charlie Lucky, and that's based on a story about the Second World War that most people don't know, that involves Charlie Lucky Luciano and how the American government came to him right after World War II broke out. He helped with the Normandy that was blown up in the New York docks and then came to him again in 1943 when they needed to take the island of Sicily to help bring the close of the Second World War in Europe. And it's a story I heard when I was doing Monsignor for Fox, which is 1982. And I heard the story. I was in Naples having lunch with some Italian friends. I had, some time off from shooting and actually wanted to research where my grandparents were from. And I heard this story and I listened to the story. And I was young at the time. I was maybe 31, 32, 33, something like that. And I listened to the story about this thing that how the American government went to jail, said, we need your help. And I looked at the guy and I said, you're out of your fucking mind. The government would never do that. Again, I was young, little naive, a little green. Of course, years later, I drew tremendous amounts of research, found out that it was absolutely the truth, and that was the basis for a screenplay that I've written that I feel I'm pretty close to getting made now.
Very, very cool. Very cool. my friend is probably my best friend at the moment, and he is probably my biggest fan as far as the show goes. And when this gets edited and put on the air, I'm gonna tell him about it as soon as we hang up here, and he's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm so excited," because that's he's gonna freak.
Yeah, this is a screenplay that I've written several screenplays. This is my baby, so to speak. And I probably worked almost 11 years on it. I've sold options on it. Right now, it's in the hands of a very big director, and we'll see what happens. I think the girls are feeling good that, it might happen. And I've been trying to interview with one or two major directors. So, besides a lot of other pictures I've written, which I sort of, in the 80s, when I got back from Italy, I started to get into television. And I thought did some pretty good television, stuff with, I did a series of movies with Billy Friedkin called The Cat Squad, Counter for Small Tactical Squad. I thought it was really good stuff, and then I did some commercial stuff. And, since then, just a lot of different character roles in a lot of independents that, most people don't see them anymore.
Right. Well, one that I actually wanted to talk with you about was a very you know n- not well influential in a way, but I remember seeing this film with my friend and his older brother, and his older brother is no longer with us. That's why it's kind of like a good memory, because he showed the movie to us, and that's American History X.
Yeah, good movie.
Um,
Bert.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Again, another situation where, if I can get in a room with a director, I usually do pretty well. And I met Tony. I was going to say Tony Scott, was a buddy of mine, but I'm trying to think of the director's name. English guy, and he'll come to me. But yeah, it was a very, very good movie, and he was again a director who had a vision, who was pretty intense. Again, I've worked with some pretty intense directors who have reputations for being a little out there. One of them being, his name was Tony Kaye, the guy who directed American History X. Billy Friedkin is also sort of a very intense director. And then more recently, I did a picture about 6 or 7 years ago with a director named Abel Ferrara, who I'm sure you must have heard of, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did a picture called Go-Go Field in Italy with Bob Hoskins, myself, and William Defoe. And yeah, Tony Kaye was the guy who is another guy who, when he's shooting a movie, it's for real. The only disappointment I had with that movie was that I had a couple of scenes that were cut out because, for whatever reason, and I know Ed Norton fought for me to have them in, but yeah, it's a really good movie. It's probably one of the better movies I've ever been in. Again, it was more of a sporting role for me. At that point, I had been doing more leads, but for me, it's all about character. I'll do one scene in a movie if it's with the right director and the character's good.
Right. Very, very cool. I mean, that movie again, it's
It's an
it's
important film. It had something to say.
yeah,
I thought it very well. I thought it was really directed well, and Eddie's good in it. Eddie's terrific. Eddie Fairlawn's terrific in it. Farida Balk, is that her name? Farida. She's a now on Ray Donovan. Was
yeah,
terrific.
yeah.
And it's
Edward
got a great
Norton.
cast: Stacey Keach, Elliot Gould, William Russ. Everybody showed up because look, actors, real actors, serious actors are attracted to material. If the material is there, I'm in. No
Right.
matter what the money is or what if the material is there and the character is there, especially if it's something I haven't done. I want to play.
Right. That's what it really should be about,
I've had other opportunities. There's a picture I did you probably never saw or heard of called Malevolence. In the picture, I played James Earl Ray, or a character loosely based or closely based on James Earl Ray's life. And, there's a lead in a picture directed by a female director, Belle Avery, who I thought was just terrific. And it's a good little picture. It's, went right to home, Paramount Home Video. A picture I did in the mid 90s. But it's another picture that, was dealt with racism. And I thought it was really a good picture, but didn't really get the right release, and that happens a lot. People make pictures and they don't really get seen. There's a
Yeah.
lot of little gems out there. I'm sort of, I see a lot of film, always have, and I'm on the committee for foreign films this year at the Academy. Uh, so I see a lot of movies, and there's a lot of great movies from all over the world. Some of them don't really get the attention and that they should be getting. It's kind of disappointing,
Yeah,
but
you know, that's just the audiences. Sometimes it's, I guess, the studios, whatever it may be. I mean, I'm the type of person that sees a lot of movies as well. I mean, I probably watch two movies a night, um, every
right.
night. You whether it's something that's on TV, that's on HBO, or something that I've already seen. 20 times to literally over 1,000, I'll just watch a movie, at least one to two movies, literally sit down and watch at least one to two movies a night. And, I love film. And
Yeah.
as my screenwriting teacher says to me, I'm habituated because nothing really surprises me anymore, and I'm actually able to pretty much figure out how stuff is gonna turn out in most genres of film, and but that, to me, that only says, when it comes to my writing, that helps because I can probably literally write anything, because I've seen everything, and I'm currently working on a few scripts, some H.P. Lovecraft adaptations, some Ambrose Bierce adaptations. I'm working on a script based in the 1950s with Native American skinwalker legends, and because my favorite area of film is horror sci-fi, but I probably right up there is the
Well,
gangster.
I've done a lot of probably my most successful, some of my most successful stuff in sci-fi, and I'm not a sci-fi fan, but I did a horror movie called Evil Speak, which is kind of a cult movie, and then I did a 4-hour miniseries called Something Is Out There, which was, kind of fluff, but it was a very commercial piece. It was like the number one show for 2 nights in a row in the late 80s. Was me and the girl from the Bond movie, Mariam Davo, and my ex-wife, Kim Delaney, and George Zunza, but it was very commercial, It was like popular. And then I did a short-lived series of it, and it dealt with, played an LA cop who meets this alien from another planet who comes down here to protect uh, Earth from this xenomorph. So not my kind of stuff, but the character was so cool that I had to do it.
And I bet that's actually one of my favorite films that you're in. So I'm like, the '80s is like where it's at for me. with horror and
I
sci-fi.
think that. I say, did you ever see Something Is Out There?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, again, it was kind of fluff in a way, but
Yeah.
very, very commercially successful. I mean, it was huge, a huge hit. But yeah, and again, let me ask you, Sam, you're getting your master's in screenwriting from where?
Point Park University.
What university?
Point Park.
Uh huh. Is that anywhere near Carnegie?
It's CMU is in Oakland, and Point Park is downtown.
Right,
It's actually the Art Institute and Point Park's campus are like right next to each other.
right. Have you ever produced or shot any of the films that you've written?
I have not. Well, I took a production one class, and I made three films in that class, and I had to write, um, direct, shoot, cast, edit, do the score, um, basically everything with do three films. The first had to be 2 minutes. The second had to be 3 to 4, and the third had to be 4 to 5. And it was a really interesting experience because um, getting to like really having to work under pressure,
Right,
both with writing a script, um, editing, shooting, casting. You know, um, I mean, there are some times where it's like I had no one casted, you know, and I had to shoot 2 days, from that day, and somehow I was like I called my friends up and I was like, listen, I need you to do me a favor, like my grade depends on this, and that's when you really find out who your friends are, and luckily a lot of them were able to help out, and it was it
right,
was it was a really great experience because I got to do everything to get a movie in a sense made, and it was very very gratifying at the end, of the class saying, yeah, I actually made three movies over
right.
the course of a semester. I kind of found out that I would probably want to maybe direct or produce at a later point, but I'm not an editor.
I just came from a workshop where we did the reading play that the workshop's run by a friend of mine, Bobby Moresto, who won the Academy Award with Paul Haggis for a movie called Crash.
Uh,
Crash?
yeah, is that the one with Sandra Bullock?
Yeah, I think Sandra Bullock's in it. Matt
Matt Dillon?
Dillon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyway, I've been doing a lot of writing myself and developed a couple of screenplays and series. Just a little comedy I wrote and shot. But yeah, what I'm concentrating now on is getting this movie Charlie Lucky made, and hopefully I'll play one of the roles.
That would be awesome, and I would love to see that. And my friend
Well,
would too.
I'll keep you abreast.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be great. Um, well, we are at about 32 minutes. Um,
We
if
got
you
enough, right?
Yeah, if you wanted to do, I think you only really wanted to do half an hour, and that's okay. We can definitely set up another interview when you have some more stuff to promote, possibly with that film. That would be awesome. I would love to. I can't honestly wait to to see that in
That
theaters.
makes two of us. What you can do is send me all your incidentals and your digits, and let's keep in contact, and I'll keep you updated about what's going on.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds great. Joe, thank you so much again for doing an interview and coming on the Fishbowl. It's been great having you on.
Well, thank you. I enjoyed it, and you're a good interviewer. And let me know when the show's cut together, or is maybe there's no cuts at all, right?
Well,
But
I always edit all of my stuff. Just so you get like a finished product sound and everything. But if you want, I can send you a copy or
oh,
send you
I
the
would love
URL.
that. Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah, on Facebook, we can, exchange information, and I can make sure to actually get you a physical copy of the interview if that's what you like.
Yeah, that would be great.
Awesome, totally
All
doable.
right, Sam.
All right, Joe. Thanks again.
Thank you, and have a good weekend. And I'm going to go see the Spielberg movie, and I'll text you what I thought after I see it.
All right, I'm excited to hear how it turns out.
All right, Sam. You take care.
You too, Joe. Thanks again.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.